Good morning. How you guys doing? Today is the 5th of January, and I seem to have forgotten, missed one of those kill the messenger stories yesterday. And we're going to start off today by a little sing along about this little light of mine. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The little light, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right. So, anyways, it sounded like that frog from the Hanna-Barbera shows. Listen, yesterday when we were talking about the idea that somebody is out to kill the messenger, well, I forgot to tell you about the beginning stories when, well, not only does Abel die in these stories by Cain, that killing the messenger, and which is what causes the trouble in the first place. You know that, as well as a mom. You know, whenever she slips and gives dad the little Mickey, which causes him to lose his spot in heaven. And the other part about this would be that when Moses is born, you have to remember that there was a decree through the land that all of the midwives were supposed to kill the firstborns. That if it was a girl that came through, let it go. If it's a little boy, they were supposed to kill it. And again, this was a situation where they were afraid that just over being overpopulated by this group of slaves, and one day they would overturn them and become bosses instead. Wow, isn't that beautiful how that works? In the same way with the other ones with King Herod and stuff. So you'll find that even here, his mother gets to raise him while he's well, before all the good things happen. You have to understand that he had two moms too. Just like we're given two mothers. We're given the first one to grow up with, and the second one is to when you're grown up. And of course, what do we get from this story is that whenever he later on is run away, we get his story come back around again once he has killed a man, once he has killed an Egyptian. You have to think about this. He's wrestled with himself and he's killed himself. There's the same stories with Jacob. Jacob wrestling with himself until he is able to see at the top rung of the ladder Jesus or God face to face, calls the place Peniel. We also, let's see, where else does that show up? Excuse me. It shows up in David and Goliath, that, here he is, live by the sword, die by the sword. The idea that, this young naked man only had his sling and a little rock, placed it right in this place. And while he was knocked out, this is this idea of going into meditation when the big guy's out, when he's asleep. Then does this the smaller person, the smaller child or something is let out to cut our head off, so that it can now be in charge, so that it now rules over this monster side. And that's all that is. This is what the seed is about. This is what that little light of mine is. That little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Well, it's not shining. It's just stuck, all right? We have to bring it out of bondage to get it to shine. Until then, it's not. That little light of yours has been taken away from you. And how do we know this? Is because of the sowing of the seed parable comes in that 4 situation of the worlds. And the first one is if you've sown it from your mind, if you've sown it from your intellectual side, then the devil's going to come up and take it away from you. That's how it goes. And of course, in the story of let it shine, I'm not going to let the devil it out. No, I'm going to let it shine. Won't let the devil push it, blow it out. No, I'm going to let it shine. I remember these stories. I remember these songs when I was a kid. The second one on this is if you learned it through this direction right here on the rocks, which is the second stage, which is generally where you and I find our things. But if you find it here, it doesn't have any root because you got to do your works first. All right. So it finds that there's no way that this comes to life on this particular place. This is the rock is learning things through religion. Then the third way is the thistles. This is when you got the physical side of us. And it's just so choked full of all kinds of things that it just makes it hard for the word to come alive. It makes it hard for your child to come out, and this doesn't. Then, of course, the fourth one, which is the one that gives us the fertile ground. This is where you plant your seed, and it will grow just fine. But you have to, you have to do the walk of life first. You got to do all that shit first until you get down to the end. All right? So I was just letting you know that, these stories are all saying the same thing. They're all the business end of religion. And so, once you get tuned an ear to it, you'd hear that, wow, they are all saying the same damn thing. None of us have this child on us. We have none of them have it working until the seed is sown correctly. And then the light comes on. We're not born with the light on. This is such a little thing. So ever since a child, we've been indoctrinated into thinking that we got God in us right off the bat. It can't be more of a lie, And, even if I feel as if all you're getting is bad information from me, I have to tell you that, no, it's simply the other way around. I'm trying to show you that you don't have it. But is that where it ends from here? No. Excuse me. If you don't like your poverty, then change it. That's how it works, You got to go back to the drawing board, start all over again. So this little light of mine is this idea that you are the star. You also fall under the stars. The third phase of this world views of things, the four things that we're talking about. We are the star in these stories. We are the star of David. That's that little thing inside of us. David is the outside of us. We're all of these wonderful things, okay? So go get your God on as soon as possible. Join the bunch. You needn't run around saying, oh, I don't have mine. We've given you the instructions on how to set it free, all right? So just change your mind around. This is the other thing when it comes down to the Nazarene. When they were told, when Moses is relayed information by God that they were all going to have to change their understanding of the word so that they would then lose it. When when this thing comes through and takes away your child, this is the sword. And it's also the sword that sets it free. So you'll see that this is the idea. We have to live by the sword and die by the sword. We live by the sword. That means we don't have our child in us. And then we learn how to sow the seed correctly, how to light this fire inside of us. A pyramid, the idea of the fire within, the fire in the midst, all right? All this is about you. All of this is about you. Once you learn how to light that fire, then you glow and you bring in the light into the world. And yeah, you go to all the darkness places. You go to the darkest places on earth and you try to fix things. That's how it works, Happy day to you. I'll be back later. I'm sure I will. Because it looks like it might be a rainy day. And I'll come back again. All right. So I just wanted to shore things up yesterday because this is the idea. Everyone really thinks that they got this Jesus thing going on. Everyone thinks that they got God going on. Well, there's some really good ways of figuring it all out. I listened to a friend of mine yesterday, Sean Indigo. He's works with these Mandela effects and stuff like that. telling us that our soul has the free choice to do whatever it wants and all of this. I'm going to have to tell you that, no, this soul of ours is locked down. If it's not even there at all right, it's dead. It's a situation where it's don't let the devil come and take it away. Then that just means that, you're going to follow the bitch for a little while and eventually get this thing to come to life. If you're lucky, if you're one of the chosen ones. Well, just being a part of religion will make you one of the chosen one, but you have to be serious about it. And one day, just for the hell of it, you're going to have to take away your own understanding and go into God's understanding, which is just it'll fill that vacant spot, and then you won't have your own understanding anymore. All right. Hope you got something out of this. I love you guys. And see what you can do to loosen that kid up some. All right. I'll check with you soon. Love you.